All right, my lovely friends. This is my post-market wrap-up on this incredible day. This really was an incredible day. I have a lot of stuff to talk about with you. April 29th, 2020, status post the Federal Reserve. And pretty much exactly what we all believed would happen did. I explained to you that the Federal Reserve would more than likely not be cutting rates today, but would in fact blow sunshine straight up the crack of this market. And that's exactly what they did do. The Federal Reserve right now is being allowed to fulfill its many decade destiny. That is to become the lender, buyer, and owner of everything. That's why the Federal Reserve was created, to basically rule the world. Those entities that run central banks around the world are very patient. They realized this would take a very long time to make happen, but it's here, and right now. So let's shed a little light on what happened today with regard to the Federal Reserve. Fed Chair Jay Powell, you know his nickname, explained the Federal Reserve will keep rates near zero basically indefinitely. There is no chance, this is really what he said, of any kind of a rate hike anytime soon. Now, he also went on to say the Federal Reserve is involved, quote, in large-scale asset purchases. Okay, no secret. We all know this is going on. Also, large-scale repo scams. You know about the repo scams. I have been covering this for a very long time. He also explained that if needed, the Federal Reserve would do more and buy more. Now, I don't know how many of you out here were able to catch, let's just call him who he is, Yellowstone, talking with the reporters. It was done via Skype or something. I didn't know it was going to be done like that. Not one person, not one, asked the Fed chair a simple question. Fed Chair Powell, can you please elaborate on the Federal Reserve buying foreign debt? Not one question. Fed Chair Powell, can you please explain to us how the Federal Reserve is funneling tens of billions, if not trillions, we're not allowed to know how much this is, to central banks around the world? I've explained to you the Federal Reserve has two balance sheets. The one we're allowed to see, and then another one, which is the dark money balance sheet. It's literally called the dark money balance sheet. You're not allowed to see it. This would include purchases of foreign assets. This would include capital being funneled to central banks around the world. And who knows what else. Again, this is a dark money balance sheet. It's invisible. You're not allowed to see it. I'm not allowed to see it. I'll tell you something else. You know who's not allowed to see it? The President of the United States is not allowed to see it. This is a big secret. They've had this since their inception, but it's real. Two balance sheets, like I've explained to you. Now, again, it's unbelievable to witness what we are witnessing here. And again, a complete economic deep freeze. We're not even in a free fall. We have no economy. And the stock market today, off to the races. Dow Jones Industrial Average over 500 points higher. The NASDAQ was the big winner here. of the three indices. Crude oil put on 25%. Bitcoin's almost $9,000. Gold put on a gain. Silver put on a gain. The 10-year yield's hovering about 0.61. I want to cover a few of the headlines with you, so just bear with me on this. We're going to do a little blow by blow. I think you're going to appreciate this. All right, so we found out today, again, I covered this earlier, U.S. GDP sinks 4.8%, the biggest drop since 2008. Market love that. I want to, here, this is actually kind of funny. We'll always add a little humor into these. So Steve Mnuchin is saying that deceased people cannot use stimulus checks and these should be returned. Yeah, again, that's true, but you got to add a little comedy in this. Wouldn't you agree? I explained to you cryptocurrencies off to the races here. Here's this one too. This is a new economic report that came out today. Pending home sales had its largest drop in almost a decade. Again, more bad economic news. Stocks go up. Why? The Fed is buying it all and will buy more, according to our friend Yellowstein. Now, I wrote this earlier today, and I'm going to read this for you. In my opinion, the Fed has not even yet begun to pump cash into these markets, not even close. As I have been saying for a long time, this means stocks will continue to rise along with the Fed's balance sheet, which is going to balloon in this, what did I write here, zero economy free fall environment. The Fed's balance sheet is going to go up probably hundreds of percent here. This is their end game. This is what they wanted to do. This is what they will do. There's no risk here of hyperinflation because there's no money velocity. There's no cash moving through our economy. So this is the way it's going to play out. The Federal Reserve is using this environment to literally issue in their final solution, to be the lender, buyer, and owner of it all. It's a crazy thing. Now, how about this for crazy? Boeing reported a massive, historic loss today, and its stock put on like 12%. And they're going to cut 10% of their workforce. They're cutting back on jet production, and the MAX 8 is grounded like for life. Can't make this stuff up. But that's the current environment. Now, here's this too. Here's a prediction here. This is not me, but it is being predicted that malls, shopping malls with department stores will be closing 50% of their properties. You heard that. 50%. This is by a real estate firm that follows this kind of stuff. I'm not surprised. You shouldn't be. Anyway, I hope you're putting this all into a perspective for yourself. Understanding where you are. Understanding why the Federal Reserve, the New World Central Bank, is doing what they're doing right at this moment here. And again, you have to believe me on this one. We have not seen anything yet. Understand what's not allowed to happen. You're not allowed to have normal market cycles. Generally, you have booms and busts and booms and busts. And that's how a market keeps its balance. You have a balance line, let's say, in the middle. And then you have booms and busts and booms and busts. That's how it kind of works. But not anymore. It can only go up. The stock market can only go up. We can't have normal market cycles. It all has to be propped up and rigged, creating more distortions, or more specifically, a flow of cash going up to the 1%ers. That's all this is. It's a way to keep cash moving into the rich and literally robbing it from the middle class, those at the lower rung of society. They can't earn an interest rate on their interest earning accounts that even keep up with the rate of inflation. It's insane. I mean, we did find out that prices are rising. This was a report this morning. Economic activity has come to a halt, yet prices are rising. They're not dropping. I mean, that should tell you something as well. So let's put this together real quick. a near historic drop with regard to gross domestic product, and stocks rip higher, as we all knew they would. I said it in these exact words. The Fed was going to blow sunshine up the crack of this market, and the market was going to love it. I think I nailed it to the wall. It's exactly what is going on. This is what you have to understand, why I say the things that I do, why I've been explaining to you to bet against this debt, become your own central bank, and hold cryptocurrencies. Why do you think Bitcoin is almost $9,000 right now? Is it maybe because the Federal Reserve has gone parabolic with debt issuance? Why do you think gold and silver specifically, why do you think their price is being artificially suppressed? It's allowing institutions, it's allowing the super rich to hoard it at a very cheap price. There's going to be a moment here. There is no doubt. I mean, you can't even find physical anymore. If you can, you got to pay an unbelievable premium for physical gold and physical silver. It doesn't matter that it's non-existent. They keep suppressing the price. So you got to be in a suppressed asset. These are deliberately being suppressed. I think cryptocurrencies are deliberately being suppressed as well. Again, Bitcoin is near 9 grand. Should be much higher. Much, much higher. All the top cryptos should be much higher in my view. And they're going to get there one way or the other. It's not going to be linear. It's going to be a random walk with an upward drift. You know how these markets work if you follow my work. Couldn't be more simple. So what do we got? We got a Federal Reserve that is promising unlimited asset purchases, unlimited cash to be created out of thin air. They're buying the world. They're funneling cash everywhere, buying foreign debt. You now know that they have a dark money balance sheet, which you're not allowed to see. The president's not allowed to see. It's completely hidden from the only people that are allowed to probably see it are the top 2 people, maybe 3, in the Federal Reserve. Again, all hush hush. It's like black ops. You're not supposed to know this stuff. This is what's going on in your face. But again, it's above your pay grade. You can't know this stuff. And nobody asks Yellowstone a question about the dark money balance sheet. No. You can't know about that, because if it were to come out maybe publicly on, let's say, a major network, people would start going, a dark money balance sheet? You mean they have 2 balance sheets? Duh! Yeah, everyone knows they have 2 balance sheets. Anyone who understands central banking at all realizes there's 2 balance sheets. It's not just the Federal Reserve. Corporations, banks, they all have 2 balance sheets. They have the balance sheet you're allowed to see, and another one, you can't see it. This is where they carry out their dirty work. You understand? The stuff that they gotta hide from you. So in this environment where you have the Fed issuing in their final solution, buying it all, willing to buy more, where are stocks going? Going down? I explained to you stocks were in for a big move this week. And so far, 2 out of the 3 days this week have had big moves higher. So again, no surprise to you if you follow this blog. Pretty much that's it. I think this is an important video, a little long. Ponder these things, think about these things, understand what you need to do. What does this really boil down to? Why am I sitting here talking? Why? My dog, he's right over there looking really cute. He's sleeping. I could be petting him. But what I'm doing here is I'm trying to open your eyes to what's happening around you so you can better position yourself. You understand? With regard to trading this market, I know not everyone can do that. Not everyone is so inclined. But that you should still understand what you need to do in this parabolic debt environment. I don't know another way to put it. Anyway, all right, with that said, I'm out of here. Love you a lot. Please share the video. I'm out of here.